AITA for telling my family if they don't like the way something is, they can take care of it themselves? I am married and have 3 kids, all are teens. My husband and I both work and my kids are in school and do sports or clubs after school. I recently hit a ceiling in my field and in order to continue to grow professionally, I had to get a graduate degree, so I started my master's degree. In the past, I usually did most of the chores. My husband does the typical man chores. My kids have some of their own chores like doing their own laundry, taking turns sweeping/vacuuming, cleaning their own bathroom, etc. I did a majority of the rest and all of the cooking. I am a year into my degree. At the start I was keeping up with the chores I did before, but it quickly wasn't possible. I asked for help and was told everything is fine, you're being too picky. But over time, my family seems to be getting fed up. They've been complaining about things a lot lately. From eating frozen meals, I make them myself in a large batch and freeze them for later, to the floors having stains. If you cleaned up skills, they wouldn't be there. The stairs have dust and pet fur on them, etc. If they bring it up, I tell them they are capable of handling it, but they just walk away and it doesn't get done. I'm doing what I can, but between work, school, and everything else at home, it can't all be done. We aren't living in squalor, I just can't get to the finer details like I could before. Yesterday my husband came to me while I was doing my homework and said the shower curtain liner in our bathroom was moldy. This pushed me over the edge. I had my family come into the living room and told them that if they don't like how something is, they have able bodies and can deal with it themselves. That they have the skills to clean. I have just been taking care of so much they didn't see. Now I need them to step up. That they don't like something, they need to step up and take care of it. And how I also plan to redistribute chores. My kids were arguing that they shouldn't have to do more, they're in school and busy afterwards. I told them that I don't care, I am busy too. And I can't do it all. That need to step up or shut up, in nicer terms. That night my husband told me I was too harsh and need to lighten up. He says I was rude and basically telling them their feelings don't matter and I need to lay off of them. I told him the message wasn't only for the kids, it was for him too. He needs to step up. But afterwards I started to doubt myself and felt too harsh. No one is really talking to me right now. I'm worrying now I was too harsh. I did change up the status quo in the house for my own personal reasons. Comment 1, NTA the shower curtain is moldy. Yeah, maybe your husband should do something about it instead of just declaring it. Does he think you're his mom? Your kids are busy with schoolwork. Well, you're busy doing a master's degree, which is much more difficult than high school, and you're earning an income on top of that. If they supposedly don't have time to do more, then you definitely don't. Perhaps you could suggest that they live on rice and beans to enable saving money to hire a cleaner if they don't want to clean the house themselves. All of them absolutely need to step up. Comment 2. In my family, chores and home responsibilities were a higher priority than sports and clubs. If the kids have time for sports, they have time to cancel their sports and do chores. And I'm sorry, a moldy shower curtain can be replaced for a few dollars and 5 minutes of work. Your husband should hang his head in shame for being a weenie. Comment 3. NTA. You should never have been doing so much anyway and your husband definitely needs to do more. It should not all fall to the kids, especially if one or more of your kids are girls. Your husband needs to step up. He's years behind in pulling his weight. This is a hill I would die on, and divorce over. AITAH for breaking up with my girlfriend after she lied about her ex. I, 22M, have been with my girlfriend Sarah, 27F, for about 8 months now. When we first started dating she told me she had only been in 2 serious relationships before and that her last ex was ancient history and they hadn't spoken in over a year. Everything was going great until last weekend when we went to her friend's birthday party. This guy shows up and Sarah immediately gets weird. She introduces me to him as just my friend, which was already strange since we've been together for 8 months, and she introduces me as her boyfriend to literally everyone else. Later I see them talking in the corner and he's touching her arm and she's laughing way too hard at whatever he's saying. When I went over to join them, Sarah looked super uncomfortable and the guy just walked away. I asked who he was and she said just an old friend from college. But then her friend Emma came up to me later and said something about how weird it must be for me to meet the ex that got away. I was confused and asked what she meant. Emma looked shocked and said she thought I knew that was Jake, Sarah's ex-boyfriend of 3 years, who she was obsessed with and only broke up with 6 months before we started dating. I confronted Sarah about it the next day. She broke down crying and admitted that Jake was her ex and that they had actually been texting on and off this whole time. She said she lied because she didn't want me to feel insecure and that nothing physical happened, but they had been staying in touch as friends. I felt completely betrayed. Not only did she lie about when their relationship ended, but she's been texting him our entire relationship and then introduced me as just a friend when he showed up. She swore nothing happened and that she chose me over him, but I don't believe her anymore. When I told her I needed time to think, she started crying and saying I was overreacting. She said lots of people stay friends with their exes and that she was just trying to protect my feelings by not telling me about the texting. Her friends have been messaging me saying I'm being too harsh and that she made a mistake but really loves me. My friends are split. Some say once a liar always a liar and I should run. Others think maybe she really was just trying to protect me and I should give her another chance. But I keep thinking about how she introduced me as just a friend to her ex. That felt like she was keeping her options open or something. And the fact that she's been texting him behind my back for months makes me wonder what else she might be hiding. I told her yesterday that I was done and she needs to get her stuff from my apartment. Now she's been calling and texting non-stop saying she'll do anything to fix this and that I'm the best thing that ever happened to her. Comment 1. Her introducing you to everyone else as her boyfriend but to Jake as my friend says all you need to know. You're her boyfriend to everyone else, but if Jake is interested in her then you're nothing but a friend. She's already made her decision, she's just waiting for Jake to make his. Don't wait around as her plan B. You will always be a placeholder until she finds someone she thinks is better. Comment 2. NTA. You're her backup. She introduced you as a friend and made sure to find time to spend with her ex at the party. She's been chatting with this man for months and you only found out after you confronted her. She started the relationship with a lie and continued to lie to you by giving you the impression that she was no longer in contact with any exes. I agree with your friends, get out and don't look back. Sweetie, run. Comment 3. NTA. If he really was just a friend she would have told you. But she didn't, she lied, and even her friend said that he's the ex that got away, which doesn't look good. Bets are if the ex decided he wanted Sarah again she would have broken up with you in a heartbeat to be with him. AITA for leaving a family group chat about my mill after being excluded for 2 days and watching everyone suddenly act like they care. My husband and I have been together for 12 years, married for 7. For the past year and a half, he's been the sole caregiver for his mom, who has early dementia. He stepped up completely, bathing her, dressing her, changing her, managing her meds, all of it. I work full-time to support both of us so he could focus on her full-time. It's been emotionally, physically, and mentally exhausting, especially for him. He is one of 6 kids, and they all live within 30 minutes. Not a single one helped. Not once. It was just him and his dad, day in and day out, while the rest of the family ghosted. Well, her condition recently progressed and she had to be placed in a care home. Suddenly, everyone comes out of the woodwork like they've been involved this whole time. One sister-in-law made a big family group chat called Sweet Mama D and sent this dramatic message like, "Hey everyone. Mama D has been placed in a home, so let's all continue being there for her. This is also a space to share memories and support each other." Excuse me? Continue? Nobody but my husband and his dad have been there. What are y'all continuing exactly? And to make it worse, I wasn't even included in the group chat. But people from other states and even literal 13-year-old cousins were added. My husband knew I wasn't in it, but I said let's just give it a few days. Well, during those 2 days they continued adding others. Just not me. After 2 days my husband added me. I immediately left the group. When asked why, I told them plainly we gave it 2 days. Nobody thought to add me or even mention me. At this point, I don't want to be in it. Now I'm being told I'm childish and making this about me, but I'm sorry. I was there. Every single day. Supporting my husband while he broke down watching his mom lose herself. And now that she's in a home, these people want to play loving family and post old photos like they've been in the trenches too. So AITA for leaving the group chat and being over it? Or are they just mad because I didn't pretend along with the group hug energy? Edit. My husband and me were in bed sitting right next to each other when their group chat started, and I was like I didn't get that message. He looked and was like if you didn't get added. So I said let's give it a few days because it's a lot going on right now, and after 2 days she added some more people and that's when he added me. I was at work and saw I was added by him and left because I didn't want to be in it at that point. My sister-in-law made the chat and was the person adding everyone. Her husband is one of the siblings. Comment 1. NTA, but you obviously are harboring a ton of resentment which really is only hurting you. Leaving the group immediately after complaining about not being in it at all isn't teaching anyone a lesson, especially the one you want them to. Comment 2. NTA. I would have told them all off in the group text before I left. Let every person, 13 years old too, know exactly what kind of people they are. I also would have asked the group which days each one was signing up for to see their father, bring him a cooked meal, doctors, and visiting his wife. Yes. I'm that petty. So sorry you and your husband are going through this. Your mother-in-law is so lucky to have you and your husband. Comment 3. Are you sure the family didn't add you because they assumed your husband would? While I agree you should be upset by comments like continue to help, but the family group thing is a bit overboard. It's an emotional time for everyone and they added your husband, who is the more important of the two of you in this scenario. If your husband didn't instantly add you, that's the problem. AITA for now keeping secrets from my grandma because she ruined the gender reveal? My husband and I are almost 30 and about to have our first baby in December. This is after multiple miscarriages and adoptions falling through. I have been telling my close family all the details from the beginning in case I lose this baby as well. I wanted to wait to announce to the world, but my grandmother kept pestering me about just letting her tell everyone since she's so excited. It made her visibly distraught when I told her I wanted to announce to the world on my own terms. When I finally announced to our church, she was upset I hadn't allowed her to do it earlier because I'm already getting big enough to notice. Now, we found out the gender last week and I told her this morning I wanted to wait to announce to the world. I didn't want a gender reveal party, but I still wanted to be able to tell everyone on my own terms. She didn't care for my answer and told everyone in our church, we have a very small town/community, the gender this morning when I wasn't around. Church members just began walking to me saying congratulations on baby's gender. My sister saw I was obviously distraught and told my grandma to stop telling people, which upset her more. Now I feel I can no longer share information about my baby without her going behind my back and telling everyone every little detail. My father says I am overreacting because this baby is all she has. She already has 3 other great-grandchildren she was nothing to do with. AITA for not wanting her involved in my progress anymore? I just want information released when I'm comfortable to. Comment 1. She has 3 other great-grandchildren that she has nothing to do with, huh? Sounds like there's a good reason for that. Old people don't deserve respect or authority simply because they've lived longer than a bunch of other people. If they're going to act disrespectfully, don't give them respect in return. Comment 2. She's had her babies, now it's your turn. Time to put grandma on a serious info diet. When baby comes, don't even tell anybody, family, church friends or anybody else, you're in the hospital. Be admitted under a non-disclosure, and don't tell anybody you're home until you're good and ready. NTA. Comment 3. NTA. It's nice your grandma is so excited for you, but it's your baby and she should respect what you do and don't want to share, and when you share it. It's really inappropriate for her to share your personal news as if it's her own, and irrational for her to be mad at you.